はい、どうもこんちはっす。こちらはレン。はい、今日は皆さんに質問があります。ギルドに入ってますか？はい、というわけで Today's topic is Gild ギルド。In this video, I'll talk about the importance of Gild and what company can do to this Gild system to improve the gameplay. So what is Gild? So Gild is a place that can help your character grow faster than solo players. How? By helping each other out, yes. And not just character stats wise. You also can get some nice and fun memories with your guild member as well. Well, if it is a nice guild of course. So what is the benefit of joining a guild? First, of course, is gonna be Gild Buff. With Gild Buff, you can get more EXP, more coal, more weapon EXP, and better drop rate of item as well. And for a solo player, if they didn't join any guild, then the Gild Buff won't affect them. That means you guys are basically farming the same monster in the same amount of time, but you are still getting more because you have this Gild Buff. And second, the guild raid. Guild raid doesn't happen that often, but when it does, all the players in the guild will stand together and fight everybody, which is really exciting, but also really tiring. E. From the guild raid, you can get all type of nice rare item. Sometimes they do give a limited item as well. So you definitely doesn't want to miss the guild raid. I remember back then when I just came back to the game, there were a guild raid happening. I couldn't do the guild raid and I couldn't get the cape. E. I kinda regret that. And from that point I realized, yes, I do need a guild. With a nice guild, you can get help from other players and gain a lot of nice information as well. Of course, if it's nice guild. And how do you find those nice guild? First, this guild should have a place that can gather all the informations. And what I meant is basically something like Discord, where you can share your information for the game. Second, this guild should have some type of rules to bound players. What I mean by that is not like they have a really strict rules to actually tell you to do this, do that. No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the rules that is just there, but it doesn't really affect your gameplay. So for example, something like no modders allowed in this guild, or something like if player didn't log on for 10 days and they didn't really say any excuses, then we'll just kick the player. Something like that. It doesn't really affect players' gameplay, but at the same time, it can help players' gameplay. So there's that. Third, the guild should be active. So basically, if you check the guild list, you should see almost all the players in the guild should have logged in today in some type of time zone. Yes. And not too many people that didn't log in for 2 or 3 days straight. That's a type of active guild you want. And maybe sometime people in the guild might organize a party to farm weapon EXP, or maybe to farm the avatar stuff, or just have fun in general. Fourth, this is the most important one of course, and it's, do you think this guild suits your gameplay style? Really, if this one doesn't pass, then the other 3 doesn't really matter that much either way, because what do you think is most important? And let's talk about the guild ranking event. This is basically everybody in the guild to gather up together and just get the best reward on the ranking. And for that, you need everybody to gather up, of course. And that's a hard task because for a worldwide server, there is a lot of people from different parts of the world. So it's really hard to match up their timeline. But of course, the player base for this game originally should be Japan. And in Japan, everybody is basically in the same timeline, so you don't really need to worry about this type of problem. But for us, it's kind of a big problem. You want to raise your ranking, but it's so hard to gather everybody up together. So what do? which guild you should choose to join. And of course, there's a special guild for that, which I personally call them the country guild. Basically, it's just a normal guild, but everybody in the guild are from the same country. Yes, sometimes you can find those guilds that only allow certain countries' people to join, and those are the country guild. Because everybody is in the same country, and because of that, you can do guild events better than other guild. And that's the tip for guild. From now on, I'll talk about the idea of improving the guild system. So what type of system improvement? Well, it really doesn't need to be that big of improvement. You just need to change here and there for like a little bit, then that'll be good. So I'll give you 3 points that you might want to improve. First, the chat system. Actually, this category to the game system instead of just guild system. So why do they need to fix the chat system? So basically, when you try to type into the chat, you will realize that you cannot finish your full sentence because it's cut away in the middle. Because you cannot write those amount of letters in one sentence that you write. Of course, there is such a thing called Discord. And Discord is definitely really helpful. It fixes a lot of people's problem as well. But every time you want to talk to a guild member, you have to switch off to Discord with your phone, and you gotta go back to the game. That's kind of, you know, a lot of work. Second is about the Gild Buff. Gild Buff is nice and all, but you really cannot change the Gild Buff when the guild leader is not around. When the guild leader is not online, and you want to change the Gild Buff, what should you do? Where should you ask? You really cannot do anything. Sometimes I just think maybe you can give this changing Gild Buff ability to the sub leader as well. So that way you can change this more easily. And if the sub leader is actually trolling around with this ability, then you can just make him to a normal member or kick him out. And third and last is this guild quest board. There's only one single quest in this quest board, which is the quest that you only can do once a day. And the reward is not that great, I'm gonna tell you that. They made this system here, this data right here, but they didn't add any good quests on it. I feel this is just a big waste of this board right here. Maybe you can add more quests for it. Maybe, just maybe, the only way to access this quest, gather up your guild member. I feel that would be pretty cool. And of course change the reward as well, but because, really, like you did change the daily quest for us, maybe you can change this as well. Just add some stuff into this thing. Don't just let this guild quest board stand there and nobody even touch this thing after the guild level is actually maxed. It's kinda just sad by even watch this. And that's all the stuff that I want to say for this video. Hope you find this video helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.